Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So $2,163 more every single month in Social Security benefits. We're going to be going over two little known tips how to receive that much more every single month. Plus, of course, we have Joe Biden's new pick to head Social Security, and he wants to make these critical changes to the program moving forward, and of course some of the changes that he can't make. We're also going to be covering that as well. But before I go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so in our lead story for today, of course, we have Joe Biden's new pick to head Social Security. We're going to be covering the changes that he wants to make to the program, and of course, one of the changes that he cannot make, which will be very critical moving forward. So according to the Motley Fool, the first change that he wants to make is to improve Social Security's customer service. So in his prepared opening remarks to the U.S. Senate Finance Committee, O'Malley said that throughout its long history, Social Security has never missed a benefit payment and has paid beneficiaries with a high degree of accuracy. He added, but today, for all its historic strengths, we must acknowledge that Social Security faces a customer service crisis. O'Malley pointed out a couple of examples of the federal program's customer service problems. He noted that seniors calling SSI's toll-free support line must wait on hold for an average of 37 minutes. The former Maryland governor stated that individuals applying for Social Security disability benefits have to wait an average of 220 days for an initial decision, and they sometimes must wait as long as 2 years to appeal a decision. Now, the second change that he wants to make is to address Social Security overpayment clawbacks. So SSA's attempts to recover overpayments made to beneficiaries have received a lot of negative publicity in recent months. O'Malley was asked about his views on this topic by several members of the Senate Finance Committee who expressed concerns. He acknowledged, quote, "It's been heartbreaking reading some of these stories about people who were targeted by SSA for overpayment clawbacks. O'Malley especially sympathized with individuals who owed money, quote, through no fault of their own, and for whom SSA had not seemed to take into account their personal circumstances." So, of course, a lot of people received the COVID-19 stimulus checks, and because of that, they have clawbacks because they're saying that they actually received too much, even though that was not supposed to account into like their asset limits and how much they were actually supposed to receive. Now, of course, Senator Sherrod Brown, who is a Democrat in Ohio, questioned O'Malley about limits on the amount of assets that SSA allows beneficiaries to own. Those limits currently stand at $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for married couples, and haven't been adjusted for inflation in decades. Of course, this is for SSI recipients. O'Malley agreed that these limits were a, quote, leading cause of the overpayment problems and represented a huge administrative burden for SSA. He also stated that legislation to increase the asset limits would absolutely not only be the right thing to do for the recipients, the right policy, but would also reduce the huge administrative burden that Social Security has to go through. So they do have a bill in Congress right now which would increase those asset limits up to $10,000 for individuals, and then for couples it would actually be double that, up to $20,000. Right now, once again, it's just $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for couples. This is not something that O'Malley could do himself. This would be something that would have to be passed through Congress, which would have to pass through the House, the Senate, and then Biden would have to sign it into law. Now, the article goes on to say what O'Malley can't do, or whoever Biden's nominee happens to be. Of course, what he can't do is keep Social Security from going insolvent. So as we all know, 2033 or 2034, perhaps even earlier if nothing is done in Congress, the trust fund for Social Security is going to be going insolvent, which means for people receiving Social Security benefits at that point in time, whatever they're receiving then, unfortunately, they are going to have to receive a cut in their benefits every single month by 20 to 25%, which essentially means if you're receiving $1,000, a cut for you would mean a check down to either $750, worst case scenario, or best case scenario, probably right around $800. Now, one thing that we do have control of course, hopefully that cut does not end up happening, but according to the Motley Fool, here are two little known Social Security tips that could earn retirees up to an extra $2,163 per benefit check. So Here's going to be a couple of different tips you can use if you want to max out your Social Security benefit every single year. So the first thing they'd say is to work for at least 35 years. So the Social Security Administration uses inflation-adjusted earnings from the 35 highest paid years of work to calculate the primary insurance amount for each worker when they reach entitlement at age 62. The PIA is the benefit a worker would receive if they started Social Security at full retirement age. Any worker with less than 35 years of employment will have zeros factored into the calculation, disqualifying them from the maximum Social Security benefit. And the second one here on this article is to earn more than the taxable maximum. So not all wages are relevant to the Social Security benefits formula. Any income below the maximum taxable earnings limit counts towards the PIA, but any income above that threshold is not considered. That means any worker that wants the biggest Social Security benefit must have income equal to or exceeding the taxable maximum for at least 35 years. For context, the taxable maximum is $168,600 in 2024, but the amount is adjusted each year based on changes in the National Average Wage Index. And then finally, the third one here is to start Social Security at age 70. So claiming age has a profound impact on Social Security benefits. Workers that claim before the full retirement age receive a lower payout for life, meaning they get less than 100% of their PIA. Workers that claim after their full retirement age receive a higher payout for life, meaning they get more than 100% of their PIA. The only caveat is that workers stop accruing delayed retirement credits at age 70, so it never makes sense to start Social Security any later. So of course you can start as early as age 62, but if you do start early, you're going to receive a reduction in your benefits. And if you want to receive 100% of your benefits, you would start at your full retirement age, which is either 66, 67, or somewhere in between. And if you want to receive the maximum, you would have to delay all the way until the age of 70. But of course, there are actually a lot of factors depending on when you should take your benefits. So you'll have to sit down perhaps with a retirement counselor. Now, a chart up on the screen here shows the maximum Social Security retired worker benefit in 2024. So of course, if you start at the age of 62, you would only be receiving $2,710. If you waited until 65, you would be receiving $3,426. But if you waited all the way until the age of 70, your maximum benefit in that case would be $4,873. So this graph really represents how much you'd be receiving depending on which age you took it. Of course, there are some benefits of taking them at age 62, perhaps if you want to retire early, or you maybe have savings on the side, or maybe you want to start your own business. There are several reasons you might want to take benefits early at the age of 62, but on the other hand, it definitely makes sense for some people also to wait all the way until the age of 70 if they think they are going to live longer in life and they want to receive the maximum benefit. Of course, in that case, it might make the most sense to wait until the age of 70. But of course, there are a lot of factors there. But let me know in the comment section below, what age do you plan to start receiving your Social Security retirement benefits? If you already started receiving them, which age should you wait to? Leave all your thoughts in comments below on that. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.